let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me...
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Vengeful Torture, you can call me VT, and today we're going to take another look at the 4 different weapons of the Toukiden 2 beta. Now this is the bow, or the longbow if you will. It's made a return from Toukiden 1 as well as Toukiden Kiwami. It used to be the only ranged weapon in the first Toukiden game. In Kiwami they then announced and brought in the gun, which is actually a lot of fun, but sadly not in the beta right now, so you can't really see how it works. Now, not a lot has changed from the first Toukiden for using the bow. You pretty much have 4 different attacks, as you do with most other weapons, and it is a ranged weapon, so keep that in mind, that your best effectiveness is really at range. You really want to keep that distance, because again, especially with the initial setup, and I'm going to get to more of that in a moment, you really are vulnerable when using the bow, when using the ranged weapons, right? So, your basic attack is with square, okay? So you hold it down to charge it up, and you can see I've got my pattern right here. Now, the problem with this is that when I try and move, I can't aim. Okay, aiming is with either the R stick or the D-pad. Now, I can only do one or the other unless I want to claw, and that's sort of an annoying and really uncomfortable and not very accurate way to do things, okay? So, especially when your stamina is decreasing that whole time, you really can't afford that time. And it's sort of the same thing with the triangle attack, right? Okay, so you have a triangle attack and you can hit once, twice, or 3 times by tapping triangle, and that's how you charge it up. So you have 3 different levels here, each one shoots different things. So you can see the third charge, just like a fountain. Your first one is just your basic shot. Okay? Sort of like a magic bomb. And your second is a spread. Okay? And that's standard across all bows, I do believe. Now, again, the problem with this is, if you're trying to charge this up and run around, you have to claw again to aim, you know, it's just really inconvenient. Now, you could use the lock-on system. This is decent, but again, for a monster with multiple body parts or something that you're trying to lock onto, you're going to have to use the R stick to switch between them all. So it's really inconvenient. So there is a solution, okay? So open up your PlayStation 4 menu. Not that one, this one. Head over to settings, up to accessibility, and then down to button assignments, okay? So we're going to enter this, and we're going to enable custom button assignments. This is for when you're using the bow. Now you want the same setup I have right here. So go in here, and what I want you to do is to swap triangle and square into L2 and R2, or whatever really you like, something else, okay? Now, when you do this, go to cancel, you'll see that it shows what you've changed right here. So, instead of square being square, square is now R2. And instead of triangle being triangle, triangle is now L2. Now, what does that mean for this game? Well, that means that now, instead of holding square to move around and charge up your attack, you're going to hold R2, which leaves your right thumb open to aiming on the right stick. And the same thing when using triangle, okay? So, you can see we're going to go in here, hold it down, PlayStation button, and we're going to enable custom button assignments. You can do it right here, turn it on and off, nice and easy, especially for this, because there's really only one weapon so far, at least in the beta, that I really need to change things around for. So you can just leave it as it is, all your settings. So instead of holding square, I'm going to hold R2, and you can see I can move around, I can aim however I want. It is fantastic. It leaves me open to dodge. My thumb is available for all sorts of, you know, different maneuvers I need to do. It's the same thing with triangle. Okay, so L2. Here we go. As soon as you stock them all up, we can move around. We can do whatever we want, right? Now keep in mind that as you're moving, whenever you do cock your bow, that's not right. Now keep in mind that whenever you're moving, whenever you do cock your bow, you're going to stop for a second, okay? And then you move again. And that's just the way the game's set up. You can't really do anything to avoid that. Okay? So, but it still allows you to stay very mobile, and I highly recommend doing it this way. There seems to be really no other way around this. This is a really good and easy fix, honestly. So that's the basic attacks. Just for, again, a recap. So square, or in my case R2, is your basic attack. You can charge it up. And then triangle, or in my case L2, is different variations of bow types, magic bow types, okay? Now, what does that mean for your button assignments again? What gets switched? Well, R2 is typically your grapple, okay? So instead of that being R2, now it's square, and you have no problem using square, because again, for your grapple, because again, whenever you grapple, you're going to stay in place. You don't need to worry about anything else, okay? So, not a big deal. Also, L2, which is now triangle, is pretty much useless. It's orders for your comrades, for your AI comrades. So again, no issues there. So there's two other attacks with the bow, okay? You can tap circle to enter a different stance. Okay, it's sort of like the heavy bowgun in Monster Hunter, right? So all your attacks get sort of a power boost, and that's pretty straightforward as well, honestly. Everything just basically gets a boost and you stay put. If you hold circle, you're gonna charge it up and you get multiple different spots you can target on an enemy. Okay, this is the same thing in Toukiden 1, right? You fire all these arrows off. It's a really awesome attack, and keep in mind that it does use a certain amount of stamina based on how many different attacks or how many different places you're targeting on an enemy, okay? The nice thing about switching your controls, if you do opt to do that, is that again, in both of these modes, you're standing still. So again, you're not affected by the movement again. So it's really the only things you need to change are square and triangle. Now the last attack is X and square, which is now going to be mapped to X and R2. So hold that down, and you can charge this up as well. And again, you're not moving, so you don't need to worry about remapping this to anything. But this attack is sort of a rain, right? So you get a little extra attacks in there. And the nice thing about this is if it sticks, it can blow up and you target it, right? So you can do extra damage with this. So you can see that explosion there, fantastic. Lots of extra damage. Well, there's one final fun attack you can actually do, and that's sort of a back hop. If you double tap square and X, you do this fun little flip backwards, right? Really enjoyable. You can actually combo this a little bit more. Sort of drift down. It absolutely adds a little more mobility, a little more flexibility to the bow, and I absolutely love it. I do think that's an addition to the game. I don't remember that in the first Toukiden, but I'd never really used bow a lot anyway, because again, you had to sort of stick with the claw. So I hope you guys enjoyed this demo. There's a few more out there, at least 3 more, and a few other videos I got on my channel. So hope you guys really enjoyed what I'm putting out for Toukiden. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. Take it easy.